Son is at work as father takes oaths. Talks on an unlikely alliance over. Unite and win or divide and lose. What happens in the SLPP? Kudos for AKD's address to the nation.
The leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම.
Son is at work as father takes oaths. The personal life of Anura Kumara Dissanayake, now the president, comes into public limelight very rarely. A post being shared on social media refers to an incident that happened on the 23rd of September as AKD was preparing to take oaths. It was at a workplace around 30 kilometres away from Negombo. Its manager was surprised to find the presence of a young employee who has been with the institution for around 8 years. The manager inquired from him as to why he came to work, as his father was taking oaths as the country's president. The son's reply, quite surprisingly though, was, "My father does his duty and I do mine." Talks on an unlikely alliance over. 8 rounds of coalition talks between the United National Party and the Samagi Jana Balawagaya are failing to go anywhere. A condition laid down by the SJB is coming in the way of progress, political sources say. Sajith's condition. Sajith Premadasa wants Ranil Wickremesinghe to step down and pave the way for Ruwan Wijewardene to be the UNP leader. That came up on Friday at talks at Ruwan's residence between Ranil and SJB General Secretary Ranjith Maduma Bandara and Sajith's top advisor Lakshman Fonseca. Lucky promised Sajith would be there, but the latter did not attend. Ranil agreed to contest the general election under the telephone symbol and to give Ruwan the campaign leadership. However, the SJB keeps on questioning Ranil's sincerity and insists that he should resign. The UNP strongly rejects it and queries the SJB on its right to decide its leader. All the votes Ranil received at the presidential polls were his own due to what he had done for the country in the past 2 years. That is their argument. Right-wing's disagreement and reluctance by some to contest rigidity of both sides is likely to make the talks unproductive. Moves to create a united right-wing camp are thus getting hindered, some say. Certain ex-MPs of both the SJB and the UNP are now refusing to contest without a union between their parties in place. Elephant symbol for general election. Wajira Abewadina says Ranil has decided to contest under the elephant symbol and to ask the SJB to join in if it is willing to do likewise. In the meantime, Mahindananda Aluthgamage says all those who had supported Ranil will unite in an extensive alliance to contest the upcoming polls. This alliance will be led by Ranil himself, although he will not contest or enter parliament on the national list, he says. A piece of gossip on Deshaya says Ranil has asked the former Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna parliamentarians who supported him to contest under the elephant symbol. They are quite shaken by the proposal. Unable to accept it, but well knowing that there is no turning back for them, they are going to suggest a different symbol. So it is highly likely that Ranil's camp will contest under either the swan or gas cylinder symbol. Unite and win or divide and lose. After the election defeat, veiled differences are emerging again in the telephone party. Some say the top position should go to a certain doctor. The party is divided on that. The above was in the gossip column of Irida Deshaya. Hyde Park Corner Conspiracy. Certain media reported a behind-the-scenes conspiracy to oust Sajith from the SJB leadership. It was plotted at a place at Hyde Park Corner, according to gossip columns. Some involved in it met Maduma Bandara and asked that Harsha De Silva be made their leader. A media loyal to Sajith revealed the conspirators. None of them did any work in their electorates or got involved in campaigning either. Even on election day, they were seen enjoying themselves at Jetwing Hotel in Colombo 7. An attack on SJB's Economic Committee. In the meantime, the SJB's Economic Committee trio of Harsha, Kabir and Iran are getting attacked within the party. They had been promoting a so-called blueprint, but all their electorates were lost, it is said. Iran and Harsha are the main target of the attackers, with nearly 20, including the duo, have been identified as having struck secret deals with Ranil. Even if they are given nominations, the plan is to make sure that they don't win. Kabir Hashim led the gang, including Thalatha Athukorale, that talked about joining Ranil. What happened at the talks are now leaked. But Kabir is now General Secretary of the SJB-led alliance. What happened at Harsha's office? Animosity towards Harsha surfaced at a meeting on the 24th that took place at his Nawala office. It started after Harsha announced the SJB would ally with the UNP to contest the election. Numbering around 125, all the participants started shouting at him. They blamed him for having struck deals with Ranil and caused Sajith's defeat. He said there would be no deals with Ranil and talks are with Ruwan only. But they rejected it too, saying they fell to third place in Kota due to such deals. That one got alarmed, announced the meeting was over and fled to the upper floor in an attempt to escape them. But Harsha refutes the incident. Last week, the SJB's management committee met for 2 days to discuss their next course of action. Sajith and others said that Ranil should step down if they are to talk to the UNP. Separately, several ex-MPs from both sides, including a female, are having talks on the matter. Rajitha's emotional post. Rajitha Senaratne, who had been trying to unite the two parties, shared an emotional post on social media. He says his attempts for a long period to unite the two failed due to their weaknesses. The result of dividing and fighting separately is seen today. The loss is for not just them, but also for the economic program that was built in the past 2 years. It is a loss for the country. Ranil and Sajith can now think at their leisure whether to unite and win or divide and lose, Rajitha says, adding that 6.6 million people await their decision. What happens in the SLPP? The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna is a party that won local government polls within 6 months of its formation and went on to win both presidential and parliamentary polls. This time, it had suffered a severe blow. Last week, it had crisis talks, after which its leader Mahinda Rajapaksa spoke to the media. People's opinions should be accepted. We are talking about how to improve our results, he said. He ruled out allying with the UNP. Asked if he believed AKD was capable of governing the country, Mahinda replied in the affirmative. On the 24th, they met at Nelum Mawatha and discussed how to contest the election. Also elaborated on were offers by some who had sided with Ranil to make a return. However, it was decided not to accept those who had deserted the party maliciously. Kudos for AKD's address to the nation. Many are paying much attention to AKD's address to the nation, in which he thanked all those who supported their decades of determined efforts. While pledging to ensure social justice for all, he assured a better future for the youths and the children. Steps will be taken to obtain better contributions by women, who comprise 52% of the population, to the economy and society. Our commitment to increased women's participation is shown by the appointment of a female Prime Minister, said AKD. He promised to have good relations with the International Monetary Fund and grant relief to the public too. Many commended the address as a short and sweet one.
The Leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම.